All right, good morning.
So we're going to get started. Actually, we'll do the beginning of the practice standing up. So if you're on the floor, just go ahead and bring yourself to be comfortably standing um, on your mat with your hips just about hip width wide. Good. And then as you come into that space, start to bring your awareness to your breath. Allowing your shoulders to fall away from the ears. Taking the fingers down with you toward the floor. And as you bring that breath in and out, just start to follow the breath. Changing nothing about it, start to notice how it feels when the air moves in through the nostrils and then out through the nostrils. And now start to notice how it feels when the air starts to move toward the base of the lungs. You might find that your air ends up at the upper chest, maybe to the middle chest, or even maybe fall toward the base of your lungs. This is just observation. We aren't changing anything about the breath. One more full breath in and out. And now we will allow the breath to deepen. So as you allow or feel rather the breath coming in through your nostrils, follow it down past the throat toward the base of your lungs. Pause at the end of your inhale to allow that breath to settle just a little bit closer to the base of your lungs. Then as you start your exhale, allow gently the navel to move in toward your spine, engaging the lower abdominal muscles. All of the breath moving out through the nostrils. Continue to move with your breath at your pace without straining for the breath in or out, but noticing the expansion of the rib cage and then the softening of the rib cage. As you continue this observation, start to feel the support of your legs, equal on both sides, left and right, and then equal front and back, toes and heels. As you continue to lengthen the spine, widen gently at the collarbone, allowing your shoulder blades to slightly move in toward each other. Keeping the chin close to the collarbone, which allows the back of your neck to stay long. Let the crown lift upwards. This action makes this posture a completely active posture, grounding through the feet, lifting through the crown, broadening with the breath. 2 more breaths. And then as you finish up that second exhale, we'll start gentle movement. So first open your eyes if they were closed And then as you open the eyes, we'll start to lift with the inhale, the arms out and up overhead. And then as you exhale, release the hands back down beside you. If you have any kind of constriction for your breath, then make sure that as your arms lift up, the elbows stay bent. You can even keep your arms staying wide. They do not have to go up close to the ears. One more movement of the breath with the arms out to the side. Since we've already established the breath pattern, use that to your advantage. And for the next 3 moves, we'll move the hands in front and up overhead. So gently lift the arms forward and then all the way up overhead again. You can keep as much openness of your elbows and your shoulders as you need to. Good. One last movement. Full breath in and full breath out. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and move from here into the lift of the heels. We'll use the hands by alternating them. So as you inhale this time, the hands come out to the side. Keep one arm out in line with the shoulder, but continue to lift the other arm up. And then as you start the exhale, first let the arms come in line with each other, and then release the arms and your heels both back to the floor. Good. We'll repeat that on the other side. Inhaling and lifting heels, keeping one arm in line with the shoulder as the other this time continues up overhead. And then coming all the way back and down. And we'll repeat that 2 more times with the hands coming in front. So as you inhale, keep one hand reaching forward, the other continues to reach up. You're up on your toes comfortably. And then as you exhale, release. Going to the other side, inhale and lift. Heels off the floor, arms in front. One continues up. And then allow the hands to come back as you exhale. Together, they will come back down. Good. This time we're going to bring both hands up overhead from the front. As you come all the way up overhead, keep a softness in your elbows. Clasp your fingers. Turn the palms out and up toward the ceiling as you exhale. Inhale and lengthen just a little bit more, pressing just the base of the wrist out and up. And then as you exhale, twist the torso, turning it over to one side. Inhale back to the center. And then as you exhale, move over to the other side. Inhale back to the center. And this time as you exhale, unclasp the hands, bring them all the way forward and then down, releasing the heels as well. Good. Take a moment to shake off the legs. Notice how you've already started to awaken the back of the legs. If you found that your shoulders were calling out, go ahead and let the arms gently rock move side to side as you twist the torso slowly. Good. And then coming back to the center. We're going to go into a gentle forward fold. So as you inhale, reach the hands out and up. And then as you exhale, allow with the softness on the knee, the torso to come cascading forward. All the way as far forward as you can go. Releasing the hands down, chin to the collarbone. Let the crown float down toward the floor. Keep as much softness as you need in your knees so that you do not feel that stretch on the back of your legs, but you feel a nice softening of the torso. One more breath here. And then as you're ready for the next inhale, go ahead and keeping that softness, reach the hands straight out in front of you. Nice flat back, and then use the legs to keep the flat back, and then reach up with the support of the legs, arms all the way out and up. And then close the pose, palms together to the heart center in prayer. Good, and we'll repeat that process one more time. Release the hands down, inhale and lift arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, bending the knees, allow the torso to gently fold, releasing the chest to your thighs, hands beside your feet, crown toward the floor.
Pause over here for 2 full breaths. Starting to let the navel engage the lower abdominal muscles as it hugs the spine. And then when you're ready for the third inhale, keeping the softness in the knees, reach the hands out, nice flat back as you start to come up with support of the legs, and then close the pose, palms together to the heart center in prayer. We'll go for a nice gentle side stretch here. So bringing the feet wide, about mat width or slightly wider. When you're ready, inhale and reach the hands out in line with the shoulders. As you exhale, bring right hand down and the left fingers up to the ceiling. Inhale fully right here. And then as you start your exhale, allow the bottom fingers to reach down to the floor. The top fingers still continue to reach up. Your gaze can stay forward, or you can turn the head down. Pause here for 2 full breaths. And then when you're ready for the third inhale, gently keep the feet firm. Inhale, head turns to the center, arms come back in line with the shoulders. We'll go to the other side. Release this time the other hand down. As your left hand reaches down, reach the right fingers toward the ceiling. When you're ready for the next exhale, allow those bottom fingers to reach toward the floor. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a very intense or a deep stretch on that side body, but you do want to start to feel that activation of the stretch. Good. Turn as you exhale the head down toward the floor. Pause for 2 full breaths. And when you're ready for the third inhale, gently, with the full support of the legs, lift the torso, coming back all the way upright. And this time, as you exhale, release the hands down beside you. Good. We're going to repeat that process. This time we'll add just a little bit more movement, only of the head and the arms. So as you inhale, reach the hands out in line with the shoulders. This time, turn the right palm out and up, and then keep the left fingers reaching out. Good. And then as you exhale, go ahead and keep that right arm in line with the shoulder. Reach the left fingers down to the outside of the foot. As you inhale, reach the head down, top arm all the way over. Good. And then as you exhale, turn the head either up to the ceiling or straight forward. Good. And then as you exhale again, arm reaches over. And then as you exhale, the arm comes back to the starting position in line with the shoulder. And then exhale one more time. Inhale, reach. And then as you exhale, go ahead, slowly come back upright. Inhale right here. And exhale, release the hands. Good. We'll repeat that process on the other side. Inhale, both arms in line with the shoulders. Good. This time, turn the left palm up, release the right fingers down. Good. And when you're ready, inhale, keep that left arm where it is. Exhale the right fingers down. Turn the head down. Good. Inhale again, keeping the head down, reach the top arm over into that full side body extension. And then as you exhale, go ahead, release the hand. Either turn the head up to the ceiling or keep the gaze forward. Inhale, move into that full extension for the side body. Exhale, turn the head and the arm, torso stays where you are. One more time. Inhale into the extension. Exhale, release the hand, bringing the torso all the way up. Inhale again. And exhale, release both hands all the way down beside you. Good, let's bring the feet back in. Take a moment to shake it all out. If you need to shake out your hands, go ahead and gently let the arms move away as well. So any tightness you created in the shoulders can be released. And we'll go right back to that wide stance. This time, see if you can get a slightly wider stance than you did in the previous move. If you would like, you're welcome to keep your toes as well, just slightly pointed out. We will go into a forward folding action here as well with the twist. So inhale, reach the hands out.
As you exhale, slowly bring the arm, right arm to your left foot. Bring the left hand, which is now your top hand, at your sacrum. And then turn the torso as much or as little as you can over to that left side. Inhale, turning the torso and the head to the center. Come lifting back upright. Good. We'll go to the other side. As you exhale, turn the torso over to the right side, folding into the space. Right arm, now your top arm, twist over the torso to that leg. And then inhale, turn the head to the center, come lifting back upright. Good. We'll do that one more time on each side. This time, if it feels comfortable, you're welcome to bring the back hand up toward the ceiling. If not, continue to keep that hand at your sacrum. So as you exhale, turn the torso over to the opposite leg. Bring the back hand or your top hand up toward the ceiling. Your gaze can stay down to the floor. And then as you're ready, inhale, turn the torso and come back up to the center. And then we'll exhale to the other side. Same process. As you come into the space, reach the top hand out and up. Your gaze can go straight up to the top hand, can stay in line with your shoulder, or even just turn the head down. And then when you're ready, come back upright. And then as you exhale this time, release the hands. Take a moment to pause over here. Notice how you're starting to gently warm the body. Feeling that stretch on the inner thigh. Good, we'll take one more move over here. This time we're gonna go into the warrior two. So with the legs wide, go ahead and turn the right toes all the way over 90 degrees. Turn the back toes as well slightly forward toward the right. And then when you're ready, we'll flow with the breath. Inhale, lunge into the front leg, bringing the knee toward your ankle, arms out wide. And then as you exhale, slowly straighten the leg, release the hands. Good, we'll flow two more times with the breath. As you could bring the hands out, if you'd like, your gaze can come to the front fingers. And then slowly as you exhale, come back. And this time we'll pause over here as we come into the lunge. So come as far forward or as little as it feels right. The weight is equal on both legs. Shoulders are relaxed. There's softness in your elbows, even as you reach both fingertips, especially the middle fingers, away from each other. Good, take one more breath over here, and then release your back arm and turn the front arm up to the ceiling. So back arm comes to the back of your thigh. Inhale and lift the front arm up toward the ceiling. Again, you should start to feel the beginning of a stretch on that right side. You can deepen this space as much or as little as it feels right. So inhale fully, reaching the top fingers up. Allow as you start your exhale with the navel engaging the lower abdominal muscles. Reach the bottom finger down toward the heel. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your breath is full. And then next inhale, come back into the warrior, bringing the gaze out past your middle finger. And we'll go into the different direction this time. So bring slowly the torso forward, bring that front elbow to the knee, and then turn slowly the back arm out and up and into that full extension as far over as you can get it to go. Good, take one more full breath right here. And then slowly when you're ready, inhale, come back into the warrior two, pressing the arms out away from each other, taking one full breath right here. And then as you exhale, slowly straighten the leg, release the hands, turn the toes forward. Good, deliberate movement with the awareness on the breath gives you a chance to start quietening the mind as it follows the breath. As the mind starts to quieten, you find that your nervous system settles a little bit as well. So we'll go to the other side. When you're ready, go ahead and turn left toes all the way over. The right toes also turn slightly to the left. And we'll flow two times before we pause on the third time over here. Move with your breath at your pace. Inhale and lunge, front knee forward, reach the arms wide. And then as you exhale, straighten the leg. Arms come back beside you. Good, one more time. Flowing into this space. Softness in the shoulders, in your elbows. This time we'll pause. As you pause again, feel the fullness of the breath. Your gaze can move past your fingers. As you keep a gentle softness of the elbows and your shoulder joints, continue to reach the fingers, opening wide through the collarbone. Good. Your lunge in the front knee doesn't have to be very deep. Your breath is what's going to guide you here. As we move to the opposite movement, bring your right hand down to the back of your thigh. Turn the front palm up to the ceiling. And then as you inhale, lift the hand up toward the ceiling. You will start to feel a stretch on the outside of the left side of the torso. Beautiful. And then you can deepen as much or as little as you wish to go into this space. Sliding that right hand down toward the ankle. Bringing the top arm over. It doesn't have to be very intense. Again, you want a full breath to fall to the base of your lungs as you inhale. Engaging the lower abdominal muscles as you exhale. Good, and then we'll go into the opposite direction. Inhale, bring the hands back in line with the shoulders. And then start to reach slowly the torso forward as you bend that elbow. Elbow comes to the knee, reach the top hand out and up and into the extension as much or as little as it feels right. Good tendency a lot of times for us is to let the torso fold forward. So see if you can gently bring that top shoulder slightly further back. Good, one more full breath here. And then keeping the weight equal on both sides, inhale, come back into the warrior two. Staying right here for that full breath. And then as you exhale, slowly straighten the front leg, release the hands, turn the toes, and we'll go back into just a gentle forward folding action. Let your arms come down toward the floor, sliding them on the leg. Use, if you would like, a block, and if you have one accessible, to relax your forehead or your crown upon the block. You don't have to go very low. This is more to relax and soften the body. Good, take 2 full breaths right here. On the third inhale, come up halfway, flattening the back. If you would like to use the blocks for this next move, then you're going to move the blocks both on each side of the leg. So when you're ready, inhale fully at the center, coming to a flat back. And then as you exhale, bend the right knee. Bring both your hands over either to the block on the inside or the outside of the foot, or the palms down to the floor. So there's a nice bend in the knee as you feel a stretch on the inner thigh of the opposite leg. Good. Inhale, come back to the center, folding as you exhale. We'll go to the other side. Inhale, flatten the back, coming halfway up. As you exhale, move over to the other side, bending this time the left knee, keeping the right straight. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, inhale, come back to the center. Once again, as you exhale, just fold. Pause here for one extra breath. And the next inhale, lengthen the spine, flatten the back. You can use your hands if you'd like. They can come out in line with the shoulders, straight out in front of you. Or if you prefer, you can have your hands at your hip crease, whichever way you choose to go. With that flat back and the full support of the legs, come back upright. Bring the feet back together. Good, and shake it out. Good, we are going to go ahead and go into a balanced posture here. For a balance, we're going to just try the simple version of the tree posture. You can go as far or as little as it feels right. You can use the wall or a chair if you have with you. If you prefer to use a block, you're even welcome to use the block. Whichever way you go into it, just make sure that your breath stays as your guide. We'll start with in Samasthiti, both feet parallel to each other. And then when you're ready, let's lift the left heel up off the floor. And then turn the left knee out. And as you do so, walk the foot over closer to the supporting leg, which is now our right leg. A lot of times, as soon as the opposite leg lifts up, there's a tendency to let the hip collapse over here. So see if you can bring awareness to that supporting leg, to the outside of the hip, and activate the whole hip flexor muscle group. Good, press them in toward the midline. So from here now, you determine where you want to go. You're welcome to stay here as a sapling. You're welcome to become a tiny little bush, lifting your toes up off the floor, keeping the heel at right above your ankle joint. Or if you prefer to go a little bit further, you can bring the foot off the floor. And notice how much adjustment is already going on in that supporting leg. Notice if you manage to let your breath become strained or restricted or held. So this is where you would adjust the posture. If you need to use the wall, go ahead and use the wall. If you need to put the foot on a block, then that's a good way to do it. Your foot is still off the floor, but the tip of your toes can come onto the block. Still works the hip muscles on the supporting leg. Good, and then go higher if that's what you wish to do it. Do so, bringing the heel above the knee or the heel all the way in and up to the groin. It's not important how high up you go, but how much comfort you have in this posture. Good, once you feel comfortable with the lift of the legs, you can bring your hands into play. They can come out to the side. They can lift up higher, as high or as low as it feels right. You're even welcome, if you'd like, to keep your hands at your heart center. Good, we'll do this one more breath. Full breath in, full breath out. And then when you're ready, release the hands and the legs. Good, take a moment to look down. Notice how much of a groove you have made in your mat or on your carpet. Good, you've rooted yourself in there. So close your eyes, start to feel that support and the grounding, especially on that supporting leg side, the right. Notice your breath. Notice the difference on one side versus the other. And we'll start to shift the weight over with the eyes still closed this time onto the left side. As you do so, lift your right heel up off the floor. Good, and then slowly allow your eyes to open. And as you do so, turn your leg over. Walk the ball of the foot closer to the supporting leg so the heel rests above your ankle joint. Good, and then take any version of this posture that you would like. We all have a stronger and a weaker side. Maybe you're a little bit more stable on this side versus the other. Or maybe you're a little bit more shaky on this side. Good, again, keep your breath as your guide. So you have the ability to let the breath come in, not just through the nostrils and say up to the upper chest, but come all the way down to the base of your lungs, the top of your rib cage, or that I should say the base of your rib cage, expanding the rib cage all the way out. Good, and then go to any version that you feel. Lift the toes up off the floor, bring the foot to your mid-shin, heel above the knee, whichever feels right for you. Again, don't let that hip collapse on you. So make sure that you're pressing in from that outside of the hip flexors on the left side. And then allow your hands to come into play, whichever space they feel right and comfortable for you. Keep in mind, this is your practice. If it means that you are unstable or it doesn't feel right for you, come out of it, shake it off, and then come back into it. We are creating muscle memory. So use that to your advantage. If for whatever reason it doesn't work for you today, that's fine too. Just come to a space on the floor to relax, sitting comfortably if this posture isn't working for you. If you're straining though for your breath, you're losing the benefit of the posture. So allow your breath to stay stable. And then when you're ready, after the next full breath moves through, you're welcome to release the hands and then the legs. Once again, looking down, noticing the groove you made on the floor, shake it out. Good, and we'll go down to the floor. You have a choice to how we go down to the floor. You can come into a squat if that feels right, bringing the feet slightly wider than the hips, maybe even slightly turning the toes out. If you would like to use the wall for it, feel free to come to the wall. Bring your hips at the wall, walk the heels slightly away from the wall so that you are able to let the spine touch the wall, and then slide the hips down, going to the space that feels right for you as you start to come down. And then stop at that first point of resistance. Maybe use your blocks for support. Bring them out to the side and then gently slide the hips as comfortably low as you can get them. Good. Then if you would like, if you're unable to go all the way down, bring your block underneath your hips so that you can still come to sit upright and nice and tall. That's good. If you're not at the wall, you're still welcome to do that with the block underneath you at whichever height that feels right for your body. If this is too intense for your knees, if it's uncomfortable, go ahead and come all the way down, hips to the floor, and relax. If you feel like you can stay here for another couple of breaths, go ahead and enjoy this space. Good. And then slowly and gently release the hands and come all the way down to the floor, removing the block if you had it underneath you. You can use your hands if you'd like for support, or you can bring your hands in front of you and just allow the gentle release of your hips down to the floor. Good. So as you come into this space, if you need to use the blocks to support the lift of your hips, go ahead and do so. If you feel like you want to use the blocks underneath your knees instead of under your sit bones, that's an option as well. Just take a couple of breaths here, relaxing the hands, palms up or down on your knees, closing your eyes. And we'll shift our breath to Ujjayi, with a nice gentle constriction at the back of the nose and throat as you bring the breath in. And then let the exhale be free and effortless without any constriction. So Ujjayi breath only on the inhale. Go ahead and breathe 2 more breaths here in Ujjayi. Giving the body a chance to gently allow the sit bones to melt into the floor. And then slowly, as you finish up those 2 breaths, go ahead and open your eyes. We're going to go ahead and also move the legs open. So open the right leg out wide, as far out as you can get it to go. And keep the left heel in close to the groin. You're welcome to use the blocks or even a blanket that can be rolled underneath your knees so you do not feel an intense stretch on the inside of the knee. So if you're going to use the block, it's going to come somewhere right at mid-shin and mid-thigh. Keep a nice length in the spine. And then as you start a full breath in, reach the crown up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, twist the torso over to that right leg. Good. And then when you're ready, keep the back hand. This time that will be your right hand coming back as you've twisted over to the right. Inhale, use the back hand to keep that length, but as you exhale, start to walk the left fingers forward toward the right foot. Good, so the opposite hand is going to come as far forward as you can go into it. Beautiful. Again, you don't have to have a very far-reaching forward fold. You can just be twisted and maybe a few centimeters forward, as long as both the sit bones stay on the floor and you do not feel that intense stretch on the back of that extended leg. Breath again becomes your guide. So inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, see if you can go just a little bit further into softening. Not as much of a forward fold if you feel that's not necessary or working for the body. Your backhand continually gives you the ability to keep the collarbone wide and open. Good. Next, inhale, lengthen the spine. And then slowly as you come up on the exhale, unwind. We'll change sides. So going slowly to the other side, to be able to go there, bring with the bend in your knee, the hand underneath your knee, and then close that knee as you fold it over, and then open the other side. Good. Bringing that right heel in close toward your groin, extend through the left leg. Again, keep in mind that both sides of our body are different. Inhale, keep the length in the spine. Take any support you want or need underneath that knee, block, blanket, rolled up. Bring, as you exhale, the torso over to face that left leg. So this time your left arm will go back. Your right arm is going to try and reach the left leg. So inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you start your exhale, start to gently, not just keep the twist, but fold into this. As you come into the forward fold, your right arm will continually reach toward the toes. Maybe your mid-shin, your ankle would be the starting point. And then use your breath to see if the arms can come as far forward toward the toes as they can. Use your back arm to keep that openness of the collarbone. Nice, soft, gentle hugging of the belly in toward your spine as you keep those lower abdominal muscles engaged. There's a nice gentle firmness. It's not a tight firmness. You still have the ability to move into the twist with full breath moving in and out. And then the next inhale, lengthen the spine, keeping that nice flat back, come up. And as you exhale, unwind the torso to the front. Once again, bring your hand, softening the knee, underneath the knee, bend that leg at the knee, coming into a gentle cross-legged posture. And notice how it feels to be in this posture. We'll go down to the floor for the next few moves. So as you come to lay flat on your backs this time, actually we'll go flat on our abdomen. Let's do that first. So as you come to lay flat on your abdomen, we're going to go ahead and use the legs to be together. Spine is long, relaxing toward the floor. Bring your hands in front of you, palms one on top of the other, elbows out. And then relax your forehead or one ear down to the floor. As you stay here, take a couple of breaths.
Feet are still close to each other, just about hip width. Good. As you inhale, next breath, bend the knee, allowing the heel to come in toward the hip. And then as you exhale, straighten the leg. We'll go to the other side. You want, as you bend the knee, that hip and the top of the thighs to be pressing into the floor. We'll repeat that one more time on each side. If you have your head turned with the ear to the floor, turn the other ear. Good. And this time, bring the forehead to the floor upon your palms. We'll go into a modified version of the locust pose, where we're only going to lift the leg and not the torso. So when you inhale, excuse me, when you inhale, lift the right foot up off the floor. Exhale, keeping the leg up. On the next inhale, move the leg out to the right, as far out as you can go. And then exhale the leg back in. We'll do that one more time. Inhale the leg out to the right. And then exhale it back in. Lovely. One last time. Inhale, move the right leg out to the right. Pause over here. Exhale right here. Inhale again. And exhale, bring the leg back in and release it all the way down to the floor. One full breath here. And we'll go to the other side when you're ready. Inhale and lift the left leg up, no bend in the knee. As you inhale again, bring the leg out to the side. Exhale, bring the leg back in. Leg stays lifted up off the floor. One more time, inhale it out. Exhale it back in. This time as you inhale and move it out, pause right here, exhaling with the leg still out. Inhale again. And then exhale the leg back in, and then release it all the way down. Good. Move into crocodile, moving the legs out wide as you can get them. And if it's comfortable to do so, let the big toe and the inside edge of the heel fall to the floor. Resting over here. One more full breath. And then slowly bring the legs back in, close toward each other, just about hip width wide. Slide this time the hands down at the base of your rib cage, and we'll move from here up off the floor and back into the child's posture. So as you inhale, come up to all fours. And as you exhale, keep your hands where they are, and then let the hips move as far comfortably back as they can go. They don't have to reach the heels. And then as you inhale, come back up, shoulders on top of the wrist. Pelvis comes down slightly toward the floor as you come into the up dog version. Modified version, good. Let the heart come forward. Crown reaches up. And then as you exhale, again, gently bring the chin to the collarbone. Pressing the chest to the thigh. Forehead comes down toward the floor. And we'll flow one more time with the breath. As you inhale, gently pulling the torso forward, pressing the heart forward, crown out and up. And one more time from that up dog, press back to child's posture. This time as you come into the relaxed space of the child's posture, let your arms come closer to the legs. You can have the elbows down, palms turned up, or you can even have the hands beside you, forehead to the floor. It's supposed to be a nice, soft, relaxing space. So go ahead and breathe into this space, especially letting the torso lift up ever so slightly as you inhale. But on the exhale, softening.
It's a chance to allow the internal organs in the abdominal area to get a nice gentle massage. One more full breath here. And then slowly use your hands to press into the floor to lift the torso. And then we're going to come down to the floor to go ahead and move all the way down to the floor. As you come into this space, let your legs come out. Come to lay flat on your backs with the knees bent. Heels come close to the hips. And take about 3 full breaths to let the spine soften to the floor. Let the back of the neck be long as the chin releases down toward the collarbone. Shoulders soften. Forehead unfurls. And then slowly lift both legs up off the floor. Bring the knees in close toward your chest. As you do so, bring your hands up on top of the knees. Fingers gently drape around your knees. And we'll go from here into Apanasana. So as you inhale, let the knees move away from the chest. Elbows will straighten. They become our guide. As you exhale, softening the knees back in toward the chest. Navel falls to the floor. Movement comes from the hip joint. Nice and slow. Focus stays on the exhale. If you'd like to use some sound, feel free to use this ah sound as you bring your knees back in close to the chest. Ah. Inhale is free, knees move away from you. And on the exhale, chant. Ah. And repeat 2 more times. I will do a quiet chant so that I do not force you to bring your breath into an extension if it's not ready for it, or for you to shorten it. So use your breath as your guide with the sound on the exhale. And then as you finish up this sound, go ahead and stay here, knees in close to the chest, hands come upon your shins or behind the knees, and relax the spine. Good. This time release gently both legs all the way down to the floor and then slide them to straighten the legs. We're going to go from here into Jatara Parivritti, which is the abdominal twist. So bring your hands out in line with the shoulders, but just slightly lower. As you inhale, lift your right foot up off the floor, pressing the heel to the ceiling. As you exhale, let the right foot go over toward your left fingers. Inhale the leg back up to the center, and then exhale, release the leg all the way down to the floor. We'll go to the other side, lifting as you inhale, left foot up off the floor. As you exhale, let the left foot go over toward your right fingers. And then all the way up as you inhale. And then as you exhale, release. We'll repeat this process 2 more times on each side. As you move the leg up, you can keep a softness in the knee. It doesn't have to be completely straight if that doesn't work for the body. But you're exhaling the toes all the way down toward the floor to that opposite finger. And then flowing with the breath. On the exhale, the navel hugs the spine. as your body becomes comfortable in this space and this movement, you're welcome, if you'd like, to turn your head in the opposite direction of your knee. If you find that your shoulder wants to move up way far off the floor as you bring the leg to the opposite arm, slide the hands down a little lower toward the bottom edge of the mat. And then as you finish up, equal number of times on both sides, let the legs come down. Let the toes fall away from each other. Slide the hands also comfortably apart, away from the body slightly. Relax the shoulders. Bring the awareness to the breath. One more full breath here. And then slowly bend the legs again, bringing the heels close to the hips, and we'll get ready to move into the bridge pose, Dvipada Pitam. You have a choice. You can let your fingers reach down toward your ankles, or if you like, you can just bend your elbows, let the palms face each other so that your upper arm gives you full support over here. Shoulders too will relax down to the floor. When you are ready, whichever position of your arms that you choose to go with, inhale, slowly pressing into the feet, lift the pelvis up off the floor. As you exhale, keeping that soft engagement of the lower abdominal muscles, release the pelvis back down to the floor. Good, and we'll repeat this movement 2 more times with your own breath at your own pace, lifting the pelvis off the floor. You might find as you release the chin to the collarbone that you're able to let the upper chest connect with your chin. Back of the neck stays long. If you would like, for the next few moves, we'll use the hands. So as you inhale, we're going to lift both hands up overhead. Pelvis lifts, arms overhead. As you exhale, slowly and gently bring the hands back down. If you have any kind of cramping issues, feel free to extend that particular leg slightly out away from the hip. So one leg will be in front of the other as you move into the space. And then slowly, gently, once you feel the activation of that leg, bring the feet back in. And the next time you will come into the lift, we are going to leave the arms lifted up, pelvis lifted up, and exhale right here in this space. Inhale again. See if you can lift the pelvis a little bit higher. And then the next inhale, see if you can lift it even further. And then as you get ready to exhale, keeping the lower abdominal muscles engaged, allow the hands and the pelvis to come all the way back and down to the floor. Bring both knees up off the floor and into your chest. Relax in this space for about 3 full breaths. And then when you're ready to release the legs, bring the feet down. You have a choice. If you would like to go into an opening of the hips, you're welcome to go into butterfly, opening up the knees wide, reaching your hands either up overhead or out wide, whichever feels right for you. If you prefer to just go into Shavasana, go ahead and extend the legs all the way down, letting the legs move slightly wider than the hips. And then allow the hands as well to move slightly away from the body. We're going to stay here for the next few moments.
So find a space that feels right for your body. Find a space that feels comfortable for your body. And then keep your awareness only upon your breath. If you are in a butterfly posture, at any point you feel you need to release it, go ahead and do so. Continue to soften the body with each exhale. And now take the next 3 breaths to scan the body for any spaces that might still be held tight. Softening them on the exhale. Making sure that you soften the facial features as well. And as you find your body comfortably supported on the mat, notice how your breath has fallen into its own rhythm as well. And allow now your mind to soften the thought processes, letting them slow down. And if you become aware of the mind focusing on a thought, at that moment of awareness, gently let the thought float away, bringing your awareness to your breath. Noticing slowly the movement of the air in, prana, our life source, filling the lungs. As you exhale, softening the navel toward the floor without straining, allowing the apana vayu, the grounding, the eliminating force, to release and soften, letting go. As prana moves down towards apana, down toward the base of your ribcage and your lungs. Notice the expansion, rejuvenation within the body. As the breath moves out from the apana region, releasing the toxins through that exhale. Noticing the softening along with the nourishment. Rejuvenation.
very slowly. Starting to let the breath deepen with the expansion of the breath. Notice the feel of the air upon your skin. Hear the sounds around you. Notice the smells in the space around you as well. Still keeping the eyes closed, gently blink the eyes and feel the light softly penetrating through the eyelids. Gently swallowing as you allow the breath to deepen. Allow for micro movements as well, wiggling of fingers and your toes. As the body starts to feel the energy, once again moving through the cells. Bend your knees as you feel ready to move again. Bringing the heels close to the hips. Rolling over to one side when you feel ready. Resting in this space with this arm supporting your leg, knees bent in close toward your chest. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and press the palm into the floor, sliding the top leg. Bring yourselves upright to a comfortable seated posture. Bringing, when you're ready, palms together to the heart center in prayer. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, gently bow the head, releasing chin to the collarbone and pausing in this moment to honor yourself and the practice you undertook. And then when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes and lift your gaze. Thank you. Namaste.